Alright, so we're back with another one, and I wanted to show you how I made the vehicles for, well, it used to be the car. I called it the vehicles now because car, it's not singular. What this is there's multiple vehicles in this deck, and they are going to be coming after you and not doing pleasant things, as you would expect. Each of them are going to have a health. They're going to have a special ability that happens when they move, and on the villain mat, it actually says on the villain turn, move each vehicle on the location to a random location, then perform its special, and this is the special thing. It's going to be their special ability. Damage, that's how you're going to deal damage to them, and then the reward, well, that's what you get when you beat them. Now I set the for test, before we test anything, I set the average health to 10. So I think a tow truck would be a little sturdier than your average vehicle, so we're going to say 13 health on it. Again, we may change this during testing, we may not. So, and I hate this font. I know I used this font for numbers in the older ones, and if I had a choice, if I had the ability, I would go back and change it all on every copy that's out there. But I can't really go out and grab everybody's copy and change it. So, alright, so what's special about a tow truck? What does a tow truck do? Well, it pulls things, right? So what can we say with this one? Now, whenever a vehicle moves to your location, or you move to a vehicle's location, you have to do an agility check to see if you can hide from it. Okay, so this one, let's see, its special will be move one character at an adjacent location to this location. They do not perform the... Now, you know what? They suffer 1d3 on that whole damage thing. Let's just copy this. There. And do not make the... I know what I want. I want it to be you're pulled there against your will. So you're not allowed to make that agility check because you're trapped by the hook of the tow truck. So that's what I'm going for here, and we're going to see if after we're done, if this all plays out, if I have enough room, thanks to this text box of doom, as I call it. Yeah, right now I'm at 8-point font, which is, pretty good for what the cards need. So let's see, how would you damage the tow truck? Let's see, what if... So you'd have to fight your way off the hook. So you would have to keep your wits about you to get off the hook. So yeah, we'll make it a nerve check. Make a nerve check. If I could spell. Deal damage equal to the successes. Now, let's just say if you have anything like a tool that could help you. Okay, so you may detach an item to double the successes. As you can see, it already pushed reward off. So this reward, let's see. What would the reward be for getting a tow truck? It would be, let's move, okay. We're going to say it takes a vehicle, like taking a vehicle to the junkyard is what it would do. So we'll say discard one vehicle on any location. That's a good one. That's what a tow truck would do to me anyway. I mean, that's what I would understand it to be. Okay, so let's start off by changing all of these fonts. And I only I was real happy, let's say it that way, when I discovered that you could do the eyedropper tool to change fonts. I didn't know that at first when I first started doing this, but I'm really glad I do. And yeah, this is the last vehicle that I'm making for this one. I did have other ones. I had to edit the police car. It's funny. I had to edit the police car because I saw that it said Toronto and it had their symbol and it had their license plate. And I'm like, well, we can't really do that. Even though this was stock photo, I don't want you thinking Slaughterville's in Toronto. So I just wiped out the symbol, erased the Toronto, and I put a generic license plate on the front. Easy as pie. Oh yeah, run down. I'll run through the cards with you in a minute. But yeah, I didn't use the tractor. I like the picture. Don't get me wrong, that's a really good picture for this game. But I couldn't think of anything that would be. I mean, tractors are not relatively. I mean, they're they can go a good 25 mile an hour probably. But I couldn't think of what really to do with this one. Same thing with the VW Beetle. I wanted to include it just because my sister likes the yellow VWs, but I didn't. But we do have the tractor trailer in because that is a pretty awesome picture. We got that one. This is the background. We got the snow plow, and I don't think there was any other vehicle I didn't use. Oh yeah, the mechanic. Wait till you get to that one. And that's the symbols. Ba, ba, ba. Okay, so let's close this thing. Alright, so yeah, I think that's the tow truck as it sits. So let's see if we can get the text brought back up. And what I usually do is I'll pop it down to 7.8 font, see how that looks. And the lowest I like to go is 7.5. Now 7.5 makes it fit. But if I can get it up to 7.6, yes, that's good. What about 7.7? Yeah, that'll work. But the second I take it, watch this, 7.7 to 7.8, boom, no good. So 7.7 font it is. Alright, that's not too bad. That's just about what we need it to be. I hate that this is down here like that, so let's give that a little extra room. Ba, 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 ba. Everything else is good there. Copyright 2026, yours truly. So we got the tow truck, we got the tractor trailer, which is, high health, deals super damage, and moves an additional location. So it's going to hit twice. And for this one, you're going to combine two stats, except for your health, because, come on, that's cheating. For a check, you deal damage equal to the successes, because you're really trying to take this thing out. And at the end, each character can attach an item and an ally from any deck, because it's, whatever's in the back of the truck is what I was looking at with this one. The snowplow. The snowplow I kind of thought was pretty cool. So first off, when it moves, right, so it moves to a random location, it's going to remove 1d3 cards in the discard pile, so it's plowing them out of the way, right? And you detach an item or clue to roll 2d6 for each one discarded. You deal damage equal to the successes. So you're sabotaging it, in other words. Or you put something down so the blade can't, it can't move properly. It can't plow. So then when you win, you take control of that truck, and you can remove 1d3 cards in the villain deck from the game, or 1d3, I gotta capitalize that. Boom. See? Glad we did this. From any enemies from any deck or discard pile. Now, why would you not want to remove the villain cards? Well, that's a good question, because you're supposed to be beating these things and finding these symbols. And these symbols are going to be the frequency that you're looking for in order to stop the vehicles as a whole. So you don't want to get rid of too many of the villain cards, only because, well, you might get rid of a symbol you need, or it might make it harder to find a certain symbol. Now, later on, if you've already found one, or it's not, if you know one of them is not going to be in the final frequency thing, then you can get rid of it. But until then, you want to make sure that you keep this, keep as many of these in there as possible so they're easier to find. What if I put it there? I try to make this easy to type. So I have 1.2 and 1.8 because I want to have it consistent. Because that's just the way I do things. So I'm going to write that down, 1.2, 1.8. So now, when I come up to the tow truck and I grab the second one, I can go 1.2, 1.8. And that's what I'm going to do for the rest of these, is just go up through to the third symbol, 1.2, tab, 1.8, easy as pie. But again, that only comes from having a system or having things in play where you are, you're just following a pattern. And there's going to be four of each symbol, because there's 20 vehicles, 5 symbols. So yeah, you're gonna be looking for these. You're gonna be trying to beat the different vehicles in order to get the symbols, in order to flip and find the frequency. And what else is good is when you beat a vehicle and it's discarded, it will come back into the deck. Some of them are attached to the player starting area, which means that's not coming back until you're. Some of them have tokens where you can use them and discard them. Maybe I'll put something in here where you're able to discard a vehicle in order to get that symbol back in. I don't know, I'll think about it. Well, again, we'll see it during play testing. But yeah, that's pretty much how it is to make one of the vehicle cards, or one of the villain cards. You can tell they're villain cards. 1, because it says villain. 2, it is a definite different front as compared to the location cards. But that was my thoughts with this. I wanted to say, because you're fighting so many vehicles at once, all these ones are coming at you. What do you, how do you beat them? I couldn't just have it a generic attack on the villain card. Each vehicle had to be unique. And, unique means a lot of text. And that just means we got to play around a little bit. Like with the RV here, I gave it, 13 health is a decent amount. But when you move it to the location, you put an enemy from the discard pile on top of the deck. In other words, something is coming out of the RV. Then, to damage it, you make a nerve check, so you have to have the guts to go in and look around. Deal damage equal to the successes. So you go in and you wreck stuff. And when you finally beat it, each character can remove an enemy on top of any location from the game. In other words, you found it, you figured it out, those things are gone. They're transported out. And we talked about the police car. Police car gives you a reroll. So, yeah. Figured I went for the whole justice thing. Pickup truck. Pickup truck was difficult to do only because it doesn't inherently have anything massive about it or unique. But I gave it a below average health because it's kind of broken down. But it deals 1 damage to characters on the location it just left. In other words, it's going to spit up mud, dirt, and everything, and it's going to hit you as it's leaving. So instead of just hitting when you get there, it deals 1 damage to everybody where it just left. And you can figure out clues to roll 2d6, deal damage equal to successes. But what happens is when you attach it to the player starting area, when somebody moves, you can take somebody with you. So I figure that's the bed of the truck kind of a deal. And that's kind of how I did this, is I went through what makes the vehicle that vehicle, and so on. And then we come to the goat. Well, I'm not even going to show you the ghost car. You can pause it if you want to see it as we're going through. Lots and lots of vehicles. The ambulance. But then run them down. The vehicle moves to another location, the next one in order. If there's a character there, they have to detach an ally. If they don't have an ally, they suffer a damage. You know what? I don't like that extra space with the ally symbol, so I take that out. And since I have 2 of those, I hit the wrong darn key. Which, again, not that big a deal. And then we have the mechanic. I mirrored the image on it, because if you remember the original mechanic image, she was standing this way. I don't know why. I just like it better this way. Okay, I don't know why. But yeah, so she is under the control of this, or she's working with the villain, something. But she heals all of the vehicles by one whenever you encounter this card. I'm thinking about putting a symbol on these and just giving it, like, and then putting on here, overturn the symbol card, or the symbol, or the frequency token. I'm not sure though. Make it a free one for you, because it does do a lot for the villain, but it should give you something as well. I don't know. It's a thought. It's something I'm thinking about. Alright, but overall, that's how we do this. Hope you appreciated the look inside. And when I start making the other ones, maybe we'll do more of these if you like them. Let me know. I appreciate it. We'll see you.